Barnard, Group Managing Editor for TMCnet, coming to you from IT Expo East 2011 here in Miami, Florida. And joining me is Darian Germain, Vice President of Marketing for Accordent Technologies. Hi Darian, how you doing?
Fine, thanks Pat.
Thanks for joining us and thanks for coming to the show. So why don't you start off telling us a little bit about Accordent Technologies?
Sure, well, Accordent Technologies provides enterprise video management platforms to Fortune 500 and other large organizations. And what those do basically is it gives them a behind-the-firewall platform through which IT organizations and business managers can create, manage, deliver through portals, and then provide over rich media delivery services, video in a way so that the organization can make very effective use of it.
Right, okay, great. And obviously business video, online video, is becoming extremely important to enterprises today. You know, they're realizing that it's a very powerful and effective tool for communicating both internally and externally. However, they have to have a strategy for implementing it, don't they?
Yeah, they definitely do. And one of the reasons that we are co-exhibiting at the Diamond level with our partners Microsoft Technologies is because Microsoft and Accordent share a common view that it's very important for the organization to use tools that they already have, to leverage known workflows through Microsoft products, to leverage infrastructure they already own through their Microsoft infrastructure, to effectively deliver video across the organization very cost effectively because it's software based, but also very user-friendly basis because people can use applications on their desktop that they use every day. Everyone's familiar with using Microsoft products, so when they know that they can use a Microsoft product on their desktop to create video and to share it via their SharePoint portal with their colleagues, then that's a very easy fit for the organization. They don't really want to have to worry about new software technologies or how to use a new program or platform. So that's the Microsoft side. And then the value that we add, and the reason why we're such close partners with Microsoft, is that we provide this managed end-to-end middleware layer that enables an organization to really control video throughout the content lifecycle. So there's all kinds of products that people need to be able to easily create video in the various use cases where it's most commonly takes place. Whether that's the studio, it's a very high fidelity CEO executive webcast, whether it's in the meeting room or classroom where training's going on or a presentation, or whether that's at the desktop with products like Microsoft Link, which is the former OCS, they just announced it, where somebody can literally use a webcam and have a desktop conference and they can capture that and record it. So what Accordent brings on the back end is once those things are recorded through the various capture models, we also provide the management capabilities so that the organization can control where that video goes to be stored, what format it should be in, how long it should be on the network, and all kinds of other parameters. The portal services, so that end users know where to go to find a collective storehouse like a YouTube, search through video assets, and get content exactly when they need it and where they need it. And then on to, including, by the way, we provide our own portal should people choose to have an independent portal, but we have a very, very nice integration with Microsoft SharePoint. So if people want to use their SharePoint to search for video the same way they do other assets, like spreadsheets or PDFs or documents, they actually can go right through the same SharePoint interface, access the capabilities of the Accordent video management system, and they will, be able to browse, search, replay video content in a very easy and streamlined fashion. And then finally, a very important component why Microsoft likes working with Accordent and how we complement really their infrastructure story is that video is a very unique content type. To deliver video across the enterprise effectively, to enable end users to access video on demand archives without crashing production applications means you have to understand where video is stored, you have to set up routing schemas, you have to understand the network infrastructure to make sure it's partitioned properly. So when we work with Microsoft, we enable that very scalable back end so that regardless of what an end user has be in their network environment, a Cisco eCDN, or if they're working with Riverbed or Blue Coat WAN optimization, or if they have a native Windows Media environment, they're using multicast, or they're delivering over native Windows Media to remote offices. Our system understands what has to happen with the video, directs it to the proper place, and enables IT to really lock down the way that video is going to be consumed by the organization. So
That's great. Yeah, and obviously that's a really important piece. I mean, it's one thing to get the audience in place, produce the video, but then what you do with it afterward is
huge.
really huge.
Yeah.
You have to have continuity within the production, and then you have to have a strategic roadmap for how you're going to utilize that content so that you get the value out of it.
Very true.
I mean, traditionally, video has always been one of those things, especially in the business world, where you shoot it, you post it, and then you forget about it.
Right.
You know, and so now everybody needs a strategy for how you're going to really leverage it, and you have to have an ecosystem, if you will, in order to really be able
That's
to
very
do that.
true. And you know, we work with various analyst firms. Gartner, of course, one of the largest, for the first time included video in the top 10 strategic technology trends that IT managers and executives in Fortune 500 companies for 2011 need to have on their top radar.
Right.
So video is here, and IT organizations are going to be faced with that challenge of how to implement it effectively.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why Accordent and Microsoft decided to be here at Business Video. It's the premier event for business video here at IT Expo.
Right, yeah.
And we knew that there was an IT audience. So again, we have a really nice integrated solution for IT audiences that lets them deploy video and
Right.
manage it across their Microsoft infrastructure.
Right. Okay, great. Now, I understand you and folks from your company are participating in several of the panel discussions that are taking place as part of the
Sure.
Business Video Expo.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if maybe you could tell me about a couple of those. I think there were some that you've already participated in, and there are some that
Yes.
are coming as well.
Yeah, Mike Newman, our CEO, who's widely coveted speaker in the circuit, was on the Business Video Thought Leaders panel session on the first day with various other CEOs from other organizations that are very active in the business video space.
Right.
Terrific panel session. Chris Knowlton this morning from Microsoft spoke about the growing use of mobile video applications. And at 3 o'clock today, Steve Pattison, who's Accordent's SVP of Strategic Alliances, is going to be talking about the proliferation of video in the enterprise through YouTube in the enterprise type scenario. So that should be a very exciting panel session. But again, you know, that's a nice segue, because another reason driving video in the enterprise is from the consumer side. So many of us are now very familiar with YouTube, using
Right.
video on the enterprise,
Yeah.
creating our own videos, communicating with video in an easy fashion.
Yeah.
So again, IT organizations are getting this pressure from the consumer or the outside the office scenario in and saying, you know, your business users are saying, well, if I can use my iPad to watch video, or if I can, you know, upload videos, why can't you enable that behind the firewall?
Right, yep.
So-
And now that the bandwidth constraints have been lifted, at least for now anyway, you know, it's really been allowed to blossom and allowed to
Well,
to
it really
happen.
has.
Yeah.
A lot of the technology's come a long way, but of course it's, because video is such a unique content type, it's very important that IT controls the way that people access it. Because, for example, if you were to plot video on a server and ask 10,000 of your users to access it at the same time, that's going to break something.
Right.
So the trick is making sure that you know, you have a management control system that will route people to edge devices where they can get it effectively, or you're using multicast so a wide number of users can get the content without all of them trying to come back to the same server at the same time.
Right.
That's crash time no matter how much
Yeah.
bandwidth you've got.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And again, that's the strategy on the architecture side of things, you know, and also on how you actually want to be able to be effective in terms of the way
Yep,
you use it. So.
yep.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for your time. We've been talking to Darian Germain, Vice President of Marketing for Accordent Technologies, coming to you from IT Expo East 2011 here in Miami. Darian, thanks again very much for your time.
Thanks, Pat.